When he makes these enemies, there's no use in actually attacking him, so just quickly destroy the enemies he creates, and then get ready to charge up again and fire at him. Once he's done, we move into the next room, destroy the enemies ahead of you, then use an ice block in order to get across. Create the ice wall, push it in, and jump on top of it at the right moment in order to slide across. Defeat this other enemy from a distance before going back to the ice wall ability, creating another one, and then jumping on that to get over the rest. Once you reach the door at the top, it's time for another boss battle. In here is our second boss battle against Dynamo Man. Once again, Dynamo Man will jump from the right to left side of the screen a couple of times, doing an arcing motion in order to create a bunch of electrical sparks that will start flying at you. Do your best to dodge these as they come in your direction, and deliver blasts whenever you can. When he throws 3 up in the air, he's going to cause lightning bolts to strike, so be sure to try to get in between 2 of them in order to avoid getting hit by these. After you do enough damage though, he will try to go back up and heal once again, so destroy both sides of the machine so he'll drop him down. If you're quick enough and do enough damage, you'll be able to defeat him before he's able to recharge for a second time. Next up, we have a little bit of water as we're heading towards Pirate Man's second battle. Thankfully, they give you a little bit of health and an item regeneration before entering the room. Pirate Man once again will fire missiles in your direction that will explode when they get in your vicinity. He will also bounce around the room in a giant bubble in order to try to hit you as well. Normally his pattern's pretty easy to dodge, however when he's really near to the ground, when the water level has lowered enough, he will start bouncing back and forth on the left and right walls, and you're going to have to either jump on the left or right side, or slide underneath of them to avoid it. Try to do your best to avoid the missiles and do a lot of damage, especially when he's raising the water, because that's just free shots to him. Next up, since there is water, there's a less gravity, so make a big jump in order to get to the ladder. Then, try to do a smaller jump to get across this gap and slide underneath of the spiked balls. You can use your magic card ability to collect these, or you can do a quick slide, but you're going to end up taking damage that way. Defeat the penguins before jumping onto each of the platforms. At the top, take out the Sniper Joe enemy, and then go through the door on the right. Inside here is Burner Man again. Once again, Burner Man will start charging across the screen. Jumping over him is your best bet to avoid it. He will throw some bombs at you, which are easily destroyed with your full charged up blast, and then starts doing that little jumping motion with that large wave of fire. Obviously, once again, this is the worst, and you want to make sure that you're not too close to any of the spike pits while he's doing this, so he doesn't cause you to end up falling into any of the spikes. This time he used a claptrap type ability again that we didn't see in the first battle against him, that causes different ones of these traps to be in the ground, and you're going to have to either avoid them, or, when they start coming up, do a quick jump to avoid them as they try to clap down. After another hallway, we go into a big room once again with these bouncing giant ball enemies. Now these giant wheel enemies once again need to destroy the platforms that you're walking on in order to get you down low enough in order to enter the door. So just try to do your best to avoid it as it's jumping all around. You can collect some health and energy along the way. Next up in this boss rush is Magic Man. Magic Man's main abilities are to fire projectiles at you that if you hit them, a little enemy will come out, as well as jump in the air and launch a ball out that will cause 2 bird robots to appear. Take out those enemies with a projectile of your shot, and then continue focusing on him. If any of the little robots get made, use your normal blaster to take them out with full charges or little blasts to get rid of them. If he throws out a card, it's going to be quick, but if you can avoid it, it will cause him not to get any health back, as it will take health from you and give it to him. Once he's done, you can move to the next room, using your magic card again if you need to, in order to collect some extra health. After a short little way, we have another Sniper Joe enemy before entering the door to redo our battle against Ground Man. If you do need health though, you can keep fighting these worm robots in order to get some extra health. In here we have Ground Man. He's going to jump into the ceiling, and every time he's moving back and forth, as you can see in the ceiling, when it gets over you he launches a big drill out. Be sure to be sliding underneath of it or moving quickly to avoid it as it comes down. On the ground he will turn into a little tank-like thing and move back and forth. You can't shoot him while he's doing this, however, jump over it and deliver a full charged up shot when you can. When he's digging underground, it's very easy to avoid him. Just charge up your shots during this time in order to deliver them when he comes out of the ground. Next up, our robot master that we have to fight last is Dynamo Man. Dynamo Man will fly into the air, moving back and forth. Once again, if you're very quick and careful, you'll be able to deliver full charged up shots as he's moving back and forth along the ceiling. This will allow you to do a lot of damage and make this battle a whole lot quicker. When he starts dashing across the screen, either get away from him or slide underneath of him to avoid him. When he gets low to the ground, he's probably going to do a charge at you, throwing out his little blade. However, if you jump over it, you should be able to avoid that. Once he's done, we've defeated all 8 Robot Masters again, and now time for the final showdown against Dr. Wily. Dr. Wily's giant vehicle will start shooting missiles as well as this little rolling thing. Jump up in order to deliver shots to the window in order to hit him. The missiles are relatively easy to dodge and you shouldn't have too much trouble with them. However, the little wheel that he throws out can be a little bit of a pain. He also likes to charge back and forth, as you can see, across the screen quickly, and you're going to have to slide underneath of him to avoid him. While doing this, keep charging up your shots and jump up and shoot at him when you get the opportunity. This boss battle ends up being a lot easier than the ones that we saw in Mega Man 8 against him. Next up, we have a form that we also saw from Mega Man 7 and Mega Man 8. He has a few different types of projectiles that he will fire out. He has a wheel of projectiles that will come at you, which is pretty easy to dodge as long as you're far enough away from it. Getting far enough away on the right side of him or left side of him will allow you to dodge that. He has some bomb projectiles that will come out, which are easily dispensed with a charged up shot. The other one is his normal projectile shot that we've seen in many games, that is 4 white projectiles that go out around him. These are going to come out at you directly wherever you're standing, so you're either doing a slide or a jump in order to avoid those. While this battle is a little bit tough, it's not as bad as past Mega Man games, and as long as you have a good amount of health and can get far enough away from him, this form ends up being easier than ones we've seen in the past. Once he goes down, time to enjoy the ending.